Following WHO Ebola prevention warning, Nigerians show caution.
Wash your hands.
Lagosians prepare for rainy season festivities. And now, it's the other news.
And here's your host, Ikeji Bakassi.
Hello, and welcome again to the other news. This is the show that points at the street news and says, "You see your life?" My guest today is a strategic leadership expert and the president of Success Power International, a pastor, well and widely read author. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Sam Adeyemi in the building. Please make some noise. Also on today's show, our correspondent Dan will be poking his nose, as usual, into the plight of some Nigerian health workers. But first is the other news headlines. Honorable Minister of Information, Alhaji Lai Muhammed, has said that the Buhari administration will be re-elected very easily because it has kept its promise. Wow. Where did you keep them? Oh yeah, bring out the promises. There's still some time left. Well, Abdul Naza, a Syrian engineer who was kidnapped in Sokoto State on the 16th of May, has finally regained his freedom from his abductors. I am sure the poor guy can't wait to get on the first flight out and return home, where it is much safer in Syria. Well, Catholics in Nigeria went on a peaceful march to protest, among other issues, the recent killings in Benue State. Nigeria, Christians are protesting, Muslims are protesting. Even the Jews have done their own. But I wonder why the Juju worshippers are quiet. I mean, at them they cause all our problems. Anyway, I hereby call on the police to monitor their spiritual transmission. Let us know what is happening to us. Nigerian social media was thrown into a frenzy recently when blogger and media mogul Linda Ikeji revealed that she is pregnant with her first child. Some people reacted by calling Linda a hypocrite for allegedly advising girls to be a celibate. Well, Linda Ikeji has come out to clarify that she simply advised that girls should not have sex for money. Some people are saying, okay, now we understand. But can we do it for iPhone and Brazilian hair? A commissioner in Borno State made headlines last week when he gave shoe-shining starter packs to some youth in the state. People outside were complaining, but the beneficiaries happily took what they were given and said, Alhaji, you have tried for us. May God polish you. Wallahi. Yeah, we'll give person shoe polish. Now God has to polish the person too. Yeah. Well, people often blame President Buhari and his government for constantly pointing fingers at his predecessor, President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. So this week, our dear Presido decided to stop it and do something else.
One of the former heads of state between that time was bragging that he spent more than 15 billion American dollars, not naira, on power. Where is the power?
Okay, he's still pointing fingers, but not at Goodluck this time, but at the guy who wrote him that wicked letter.
Where is the power? Where is the power? Where is the power?
Yeah, yes, it's true, yes. Where is the power, OBJ? Where is the honor and glory?
Where is the power?
And why are they clapping? Why are they clapping? The president is saying that $16 billion worth of electricity is missing. And you people are clapping. Are you agents of darkness? And who are the people in the room anyway? Okay, let's see. There is the president's chief of staff. I am not the cabal, Kiari. And then there's the secretary to the federation, Mr. Boss. Yes, Boss is my real name, Mustafa. And then our favorite uncle, Femi let the waiters wail Adeshina. With a special appearance by Controller of Customs, Hamid, I will not wear uniform. Come and beat me, Ali. Well, so finally, the president was blaming someone other than Goodluck Jonathan. I am sure Goodluck was watching him like this. Yeah, I knew it was only a matter of time before President Buhari would get OBJ back for writing him that letter. Well, forget all these teeth they were shining together back then as if nothing happened. Now wash. But it is a good thing that President Buhari is asking questions and seeking accountability. Nigerians have been doing the same thing and asking not just where is the power that the President Buhari himself promised, but also where is the change and where are the jobs? And some people are even asking, where is Nnamdi Kanu? And where is the $1 to 1 naira exchange rate that you promised? And what happened to body language, fuel subsidy removal, and the grass cutter scandal, and so on and so forth? Who knows whether we will get any answers to these questions before 2019? Who knows? Yeah, my guest tonight is a strategic leadership expert who has made his mark through ministry, books, mentorship. Need I say more? Ladies and gentlemen, please join me. Welcome, Dr. Adeyemi in the building. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you can feel the excitement in the building. We are so happy to have you today. We are glad you are our first clergyman on the show, and we are going to mine all the possibilities today. Nigeria as a whole is a very religious country, and at its core also is this issue of immorality, which is why there's so much fraud. There are too many vices, and recently killings. Why is it so for a deeply religious country? Why do we have these issues?
I would say the things that shape culture, the things that shape people's values, their belief systems, their behaviors, you have few basic institutions. The first one is the family.
Yeah.
They say the average person's values are shaped pretty much by the time the person is 7 years old. That's family. Then you have education. You have the schools to build character and competence. And then you have religious organizations. They shape moral values. But then there's this fourth dimension that influences people's behavior that we underestimate, the economy, how people make money. The instinct for survival is the strongest instinct in man. Man must survive.
That's true. That's true.
See, when hunger comes in,
yes.
Every
other thing will have to wait until hunger is sorted out.
I say to people, somebody is drowning in the river, drowning, and then sees a log of wood. Yeah. The person will try to hold the log of wood now to survive.
Of course.
If you're now standing on the shore, you're now telling the person, according to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, chapter this, section that, subsection this, it is illegal for you to hold that log of wood. Will the person hear you?
The person will not listen to you.
When I come out, do anything you want, carry me to court or anything.
Well, let me survive first. That is key.
So the economic aspect of our lives trumps the other three. It's so strong, it will trump what your parents told you. Some of the people doing crazy things now got religious training in their home. Some of them were religious before. They were going, I'm a pastor. I'm aware that when I'm talking to people, if there is no food, they won't hear what I'm saying. It's even in the Bible, James 2. If your brother comes to you, he needs basic things.
Yes.
You now say to him, be warmed and be filled, and you send him away. He said, where is your faith? He said, faith without corresponding action is dead.
It's getting interesting. You will agree with me. Don't go anywhere. We'll come back after this break. Thank you. Stay there. Don't get it twisted. This is still the other news. And of course, we are talking to the strategic leadership expert, Dr. Sam Adeyemi. What is the role of the clergyman in today's Nigeria towards making all these things happen?
Well, basically, our job is changing people's hearts. People need to change from the inside out. But now that we realize, however wonderful your seed may be, the soil will control its output.
Wow.
The environment is limiting the average Nigerian. All over the world, it's been established. It is politics that controls the economy.
Yep.
So the church has to go beyond just teaching members to live well and to prepare to go to heaven. We have to prepare them to go into this corrupt system to right what is wrong.
Fantastic.
So I believe that the church needs to emphasize more, factor in the challenges to people's character,
Yes.
to the building of character, and then build people that have that character and send them into the system.
Now, in trying to do this, in trying to also encourage religious leaders to do this, should we actually hold our religious leaders to high standard, or do we go with the touch not my anointed?
I get your point.
Yeah.
The pastors have used that verse,
Yes.
touch not my anointed and
They've
do my
used
prophet
it
no
to
harm. We've used it to scare people.
Yeah.
Don't come near me. Well, the point is, people always expect their leaders to be authentic.
Yeah.
They expect their leaders to be above board. Good. They expect their leaders to do what they're asking other people to do. So leaders need to be disciplined.
Yeah.
So I would say, religious or not, leaders need to be held up to higher standards.
Fantastic. We like that. We like that. We like that. Now, having said that, it sets the tone for my next question. There are loud whispers in certain quarters that churches and other religious bodies have become businesses. That people just gather people in the name of whatever religious leaning, Islam, Christianity, whatever, and they make so much money. Should churches be taxed, like some people are suggesting?
Oh, well, first of all, I don't know why people expect churches to be run differently from other organizations. Churches are organizations. You collect people together. They need to have structure. They need to have systems. They employ people. Okay? What people have not defined clearly is the fact that you've had better managers coming into the pastoring job.
Yeah.
You have PhD holders in mathematics.
True.
You have scientists with PhD. My background is in engineering. There's no way it won't influence the way I pastor our church. Our church is highly organized, highly structured. Okay, good. So we manage the resources. And when you manage resources well, you get more. What we do with the resources, I think that's the one people are not quite aware of. We have a principle in our church: nobody goes to bed hungry.
Yeah.
If not, it's not a church.
Yeah.
We buy food. Last year, we produced 20,000 school backpacks for kids whose parents could not afford. And for each of them, we produced the notebooks, the pencil, biro, sharpener, everything were there. In fact,
so with all these things, wonderful. I like the fact that religious bodies are doing all these wonderful jobs.
Yeah.
So is that making a case for them to say, okay, they are NGO, let us not touch them? Or do we say, okay, fine, you're doing all these wonderful things, but bring your books. We'll subtract the good things that you're doing, and at the end of the day, maybe we'll ask you for this little one.
So the reality is that nobody shares any profit in any church, like businesses do. That's why the law recognizes it. Businesses do CSR, corporate social responsibility. They take a small part of their profit to do something for the community.
But the church is complete CSR.
Thank you. 100% church is about CSR. So what do you want to tax?
All right, let me let you go on that one and go to something else. Pastor Tunde Bakare ran with Buhari, President Buhari, before they finally settled with Osibanjo. He's now our VP. Now another young man is running, Fela Durotoye, is also a man of God, and he's running. Is this the era of political evangelism? Are the pastors suddenly, have they decided, or the clergymen, have they decided it's now time for us to embrace politics?
Yes.
Yeah, and if so, what's your take?
Oh, well, we're getting the revelation. We've not fully gotten, but we are getting it, that there's a political dimension to Jesus.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. See?
Break it down, sir.
Okay. When Jesus was born,
Yeah.
the wise men got to King Herod.
Yeah.
If they had said, angels appeared to us, they told us that a prophet has been born, Herod would not have bothered. They said, the angels told us that a king is born.
Which is political.
It's political. That's a political title. That's king is not a religious title. There's a political dimension to Jesus. When Jesus was tried, Pilate said, tell me, are you the king of the Jews?
Which is also political.
Political. And when they killed him, they wrote on his cross, King of the Jews. He was killed more for political reasons than for religious reasons. So there's a political dimension to Jesus. Nobody that truly cares for human beings, that loves human beings, will sit down and watch people use political power to destroy people's lives.
I want to agree with you. Totally. And that takes me to a statement credited to you recently, asking people, saying that it is not just enough for you to get your PVC and votes, that the way to political change now will be Christians taking membership of political parties and actually belonging so that we can bring that change, because that change has constantly eluded us.
Exactly. See, I've been passionate about Nigeria changing since I was a teenager, because my dad had books, on the coup, the first coup, the second coup, and all of that. So as I read the issues, I saw the injustices, the unfairness, the inequities. I became passionate about Nigeria. In fact, I thought of joining the military, since they were the ones that were ruling Nigeria then and so on. But I've matured. My point now is, each time we have an election, our hopes are raised. Yeah. After the elections, the hopes are dashed, and then we should stop. We need to stop that cycle. Yeah. Now, we're emphasizing, get your PVC, get your personal voting card. So after you've collected the card, you get to the place where you want to vote. All the people there, nobody is talking about development. Nobody is describing how to make it happen.
And you were not even part of selecting any one of them?
You weren't part of the whole deal. Everything was finished from the party. So I said, look, we're still spectators in this whole scenario. We're staying at the end of the process. Yeah. If we really want to create political change, and Nigerians need to take this seriously, this is about our children and our grandchildren. The president, our current president, he was president 33 years ago. Yeah. The problems he was confronting then are the same problems he's solving now, after 33 years. So I want to warn the person that is 20 years old or 30 years old. In your 50s and 60s,
you see me this
the Nigeria will still be like this.
Wow.
Or even worse, if we need to change the strategy. They say if you are doing something repeatedly and you expect a different result, it's one of the definitions of craze or madness. So we need to change this. So that's why I'm asking, let's move into the political party.
Change strategy.
Yeah, let's move into the
become a member of a political party.
Become a member of a political party, and let's change the system from there.
That calling, is it going to take you to politics? Are we looking at you someday saying, okay, here I am, send me as well, politically?
I haven't seen that. The next phase that I see clearly is that I'm functioning in the business sector. I'm coaching business executives and coaching executives in government too.
But while you're doing the coaching, if we call you to come and do a bit of the political aspect, would you answer?
I will tell you what every politician in Nigeria tells you. I will pray. And hear what God will tell me.
If God tells you. Thank you so very much, sir. It's been amazing discussing with you. I wish time would just permit us to go on and on. But we'll do it again some other time. Wow, what an interview. What an interview. Too many things to ask, but time is not our friend on the show. But keep watching. Don't even go anywhere. Welcome back. It's still the other news, the show that makes news dance shak shak. Well, as the Joint Health Sector Union, with the exception of doctors, continue to strike because they would like to be injected with more funds. And the doctors threatening to strike if those demands are met. The other news decided to send our senior health correspondent, Dan the Humorous, to gauge the pulse and feel the temperature of young Nigerians that aspire to do the gauging and feeling of temperatures themselves. Well, over to you, Dan.
Now, all Johesu is asking for is what is known as salary relativity. And doctors are like, yeah, right, in your dreams, Johesu, come get it. Fowl go grow teeth before you get up. Now, in case you think this is just a 2018 battle, this battle goes as far back as when men were boys, when women were girls, and when King Sunny Ade was the Wizkid of the time. So with this in mind, I decided to sit down with the next generation of NMA and Johesu members to feel their pulse on this subject. How do you tie monetary compensation to the service rendered?
It's almost like in the body. There are organs that are actually very vital. You talk about organs like the heart, the brain, the kidneys. If somebody is dying or somebody has just had a sudden blood loss.
The kidney, by the way, the kidney is here.
No.
Because usually I won't tell people to think, we tell them to use their kidneys here.
So, if you render more service, you should be paid more because it's just a law of compensation whereby you have more, you do more, you should be encouraged to do more. And it's just logical. You should be paid more if you do more.
I think the best thing is that, and it's the ideal thing is just the more you work, the more you're supposed to be paid. But in the health sector, everybody have their own goal. So you can't say you are more vital than the other.
Who puts in more hours?
The nurse put in more hours, from what I know.
The nurse puts in more hours than doctors.
That's not true.
No. We run 24 hours rounds, sometimes, even weekend rounds, throughout the weekend. Nurses go on shift, morning, afternoon, night.
Because you work 10 hours, then you should be collecting like $1 million. No, it doesn't go that way. Doctors do more of the brain work. Why they just do the physical work?
It does not even right to say that doctors don't brain work and we do physical work, because we also do brain work.
How do you do brain work?
There are a lot of conditions.
When they say
there are a lot of emergency cases.
Give paracetamol 3 times a day.
No, I think the issue the doctor have is that most of the nurses they work with, maybe probably people that have not really gone through a medical school training, or paper nursing training. Because now I can say practically, I can manage the patient in the emergency case. No matter the condition, I know what to do.
Each of you, I need you to give me a word to the federal government to address the healthcare situation in Nigeria.
So, well, my advice to the federal government is that they should tend to see the needs of the Johesu. That what are they clamoring for? Because this strike is not as if nurses are striking against the enemy. They are just demanding their help from the federal government, which an association is now trying to put their mouth in something that is not supposed to concern them.
Oh.
So the nurses, everybody have the right to strike, and everybody have the right to fight for their rights and stand. So if people believe this thing is not right for them, so they can go on strike. Not as much as I don't like strike, but I believe if you want to fight for your rights, sometimes it takes extra effort and a lot of sacrifice from your part before you can actually get what you want.
To the federal government, I'll just say there needs to be restructuring of the health sector. You know, the health of the caregiver also is very important. So both NMA and Johesu, their health also should be taken into cognizance. It is very important that everybody needs to be treated well, treated fairly. But there is no basis anywhere for comparison. Everyone has a role to play. And you have things you have to go through to fulfill that role. And you should be remunerated on what you do to get to the position you are to be able to administer your role.
Health workers, and when I say health workers, I mean doctors inclusive, please use your kidney and think of us Nigerians, your patients. Or else we resort to self-help. Just the way as people are not here to do their work, I'll do my own medicine shopping by myself. Anything that happens is on you. For the other news, I remain Dan the Humorous. Okay, I don't know if you need anything. There's an anti-aging medicine here. I don't know if you need it to bring down your age, but I'll just put it in the bag, just in case you need it.
Dan, your craze no be small. this brings us to the end of today's episode. Be sure to follow us at The Other News CTV on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Our people say, person wear borrow cloth go party. No, they dance too much. All right, see you again next week. Same time, same place. My name is... Of course, okay, you know it. All right.